Hey there everybody, Travis Bowman here. So have you ever bought a game in not so great condition and wish you could change that? If we're talking about games that are in the jewel cases, such as the Sega Dreamcast and the PlayStation 1, we can fix that pretty easily, actually. Here is a very desirable game for the Sega Dreamcast. This is Marvel vs. Capcom 2. Very expensive game. As you can see, the case has definitely seen better days. In fact, it won't even close. It's not good. But the disc and the artwork is just fine. It's just, we don't like the sticker on here and the fact that the jewel case is cracked and broken. We can fix that really easily though. The only thing we're going to need in this case, no pun intended, is a donor case. Now you can get brand new jewel cases that have never been touched online for a lot of money, but if you've got a decent donor case, aka something like this, the Smallville soundtrack, this will work just fine. Now keep in mind that we want it to look just like the Dreamcast case here. So the artwork is on the back and you can kind of see where it is. It's on the underside right here inside of this jewel case. You want something that's going to match that. So this seal album right here, it's not going to work because of this black piece that's in our way. We want that to be clear, transparent, see-through, what have you. So this is not a good candidate for this. As much as I enjoyed watching Smallville growing up, the soundtrack doesn't do much for me these days, so we're going to donate this guy. Let's take our Marvel vs. Capcom 2, and we're going to set it aside for now in a safe spot over yonder. So let's go ahead and start taking apart this. These jewel cases are 3 parts in one, pretty much, and they're actually really easy to take apart. This little door, we want to take this apart by gently taking that nub out over there, and we're going to do the same thing right here, and then it just comes right out. If you're careful, because these are very thin plastic pieces right here, we don't want those to break, so be careful with that. I'm going to set that aside. Now we've got the last piece of the puzzle right here. We got to get the back artwork as well as the spine. They're both one piece. We need to get that out. It's really hard to tell on camera, but it's right up in here, and you'll need a thin fingernail to get up in there. Some people have used a screwdriver like a flathead. I don't recommend that. You might risk doing damage to this case. So it's right up in here. Let's see how close I can get. You can see that little teeny tiny cylinder right there next to my thumbnail. I'm going to see if I can't focus on that a little better. Right up in there. That's what we want to come apart. And there's 4 of them. 2 right here and 2 over here. That's what we need to get loose. So my method is to take my fingernail, get up in here, and gently release it. And you can see that little nub right there. We want that to be intact. Now here's the important part. We're going to do it again down here. And we're going to be real gentle with the way that we do this. Don't want to break anything. There it goes. And now it's out of there. So now that artwork is free. I'll use my thumb again to try to get this out of here. And it's kind of being a little stubborn. And that artwork is out of here. Now this is the back. And get this out of the way. And now we're done. We just need to carefully take our new, I guess the game that we're trying to preserve, rather. That's a wonderful condition manual. Great condition. The case, it's out of here, man. No trying to peel that sticker off with that nasty crack right there. We're done with that. Now we got to take this apart. And this game, like I said, it's very expensive. So what I'm going to do to protect it as much as I can, I'm going to take this rag here, set it right there, just very gently put the disc there. You know, I could keep this and just put the new door on here and it would probably be fine, but you know, the back, it does have some sticker residue right there, and I would just rather, and there is a crack right there that I'm noticing, see right there in that top right corner. I'm gonna go ahead and replace it anyway. So same process, get that fingernail up in there, gently, be very gentle. So that one's out. I'm going to do the one on the same side down here. Put my fingernail in there and very gently break that free. And now the rest of it's going to come apart. There's my old stuff over here on the right on top of the Dreamcast. Now this artwork, very gentle. Gotta be very gentle with that artwork. Come on now, come on out of there. This is the crappy part, because I don't want to damage this artwork. Out it comes. Get that out of the way over there. Here's the artwork. Making sure there's no dust. And again, this is not going to be a perfect case. It's just a little better than what I had. So there's my new artwork in the new case. It's the same artwork, actually. It's impossible to put this back in backwards, by the way. You want this big part over here on the left side. So you cannot put this in backwards. And I got it lined up. I'm just going to very gently push everything back into place. These little nubs right there, going right back in. And there we have it. There's our new Marvel vs. Capcom 2 back in place. And now the only thing left is the door. And again, it's really hard to do this backwards. So we're gonna see that hole right up in there, right there. We're gonna gently put this back together, and it doesn't want to fit perfect, so we're gonna have to very gently. And there we go. Now I'm gonna take my disc, put it right back here. It fits just fine. I'm gonna slide that back in there, and here we have it. Marvel vs. Capcom 2. Now this case is in no means perfect. It's got a little scuffy scuff on there. And technically this isn't a legitimate Dreamcast game anymore because it's not in the original case, but do I care? No. I think it looks great, man. It looks great. It looks brand spanking new to my eyes. And now it's safe too. It's in a safe place. In this case, it fits just fine in there, just like a normal CD would. And the manual is nice and minty fresh up in there. Boom, right there. Marvel vs. Capcom 2. Feel free to comment down below what you think this would also work for. Have you guys ever done something like this before? If you're willing to give it a try, just be patient and make sure you don't break anything. It's brittle plastic, but this definitely works. I've done this several times. I've got a bunch of old CDs, and like I said, you can buy the new cases, and I'll try to find some and put a link to that in the description below if it interests you. But don't waste the money. You can go to Goodwill and browse the CD selection and find you a donor case for maybe even $1, maybe $2 at the most. You know, these things are all over the place. There's lots of CD cases. Find you one that's in decent enough condition, and you can make something that looks old and decrepit and turn it into something brand new again. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. There's my Marvel vs. Capcom 2 sitting right next to my Marvel vs. Capcom 1. And what do you know? It looks like we've got another job to do, because I've got some nastiness right here, man. Nasty crack right there, one right there as well. And it looks like there's a little bit of brown up in there. So I think I'm going to end up doing this again to make these games look really, really nice on the shelf together. Thanks so much for watching. And if you're into Dreamcast stuff or video games in general, video game music, I got a lot of that stuff on my YouTube channel. I really appreciate you guys checking that out. Thanks for subscribing, and I'll catch you at the next video. Thanks very much. Bye-bye.